Hello viewers, my name is Wilson Mutua and we are continuing with this series of leadership. Now the general topic is religious leaders as agents of socio-economic transformation in the community, and we are focusing on leadership, as we say that everything rises or falls on leadership. Now today I want to look at leadership and change management, because nature conveys principles of change. Nature itself, you have seen insects when it is cold season, they will hibernate and they will appear when the conditions are conducive, when the weather is conducive for their survival. And they know how to respond to changes in weather, or when seasons are changing, they know how to maneuver their way. Insects are wiser than the sons of men. So nature has a way of conveying. Even trees, there is time they shed their leaves, and other times they blossom because they know how to respond according to the weather. Now, nature conveys the principle of change. Human body is also in a constant state of change. Like when you are 2 years old, you are now different if you are now 30 years. And when you are 3 years old, you're not the same person if today you're talking of being 50 years. You have wrinkles, you have gray hair on your head, because even the human body is in a constant state of change, and it will tell you when you're changing. When you are 20 years, you are not supposed to do things that a 70 years person is doing. A 20 years person is stronger and energetic as opposed to a 70 years old man, because the human body also has a way of responding to that change. So therefore, adjustment to and adaptation to change is very important for us to survive, because the wave of change demands that we adapt and we also adjust ourselves, because it will always come. So an adjustment and adaptation is the only way to survive the change wave. And change is not a respect of persons. Doesn't matter who you are. When weather changes, everybody must comply, regardless of one social status. You have to comply, otherwise you'll die or freeze in winter. Now, change management involves overcoming resistance to change in order to achieve high transition. It is important as leaders who are responsible for change. Whenever God demands that we change, we should also make sure that we minimize casualty in the process of change. We should not be careless in the way we treat the management of change. We should not be hard on people. There are people who change fast, others will be slow, and we should also be able to make sure that we help everybody, if possible, to transition into the new position where God is demanding people to operate from. So change management involves overcoming resistance. How do we overcome resistance? We make sure we give the right information. Let's give enough information that relates to these issues of change. There are times people want people to change, but they are not giving enough information. And so for us to overcome resistance, we must communicate. And we must also understand that people have different temperaments. People are not the same. They don't respond to issues of change the same way. There are people who respond fast, others will be slower. And so we have to make sure that we overcome resistance to a great extent. Of course, not everybody will be able to change, but we have to increase the percentage of people transitioning to the new level in order to achieve high transition rate. Now, change management entails minimization of casualties to minimal levels. It's good to minimize casualties. There are times when people are changing, they leave so many people because they did not manage that process properly. Now, change management involves setting structures to secure the gains of change. So it is one thing to change, and it's another thing to build structures in the new normal to be able to sustain or to secure the gains of the change. So coming up with relevant structures in the new normal or in the new position of change, it is important so that we secure the gains of the change process. Now, change management is also about clear and sufficient communication about the preferred future and its efficiency of the present state. So it involves enough information and letting people know the benefits, the advantage of that preferred future or preferred place where you want to take them, as opposed to the present place. Show them the deficiency show them the insufficiency of the present state. Let them understand that as long as they remain here, they will not be able to effectively achieve their purposes in God. Like the 4 lepers, they said, if we remain here, we are going to die. If we go back, there is famine in the land, and we are going to die. But they decided to move on and go. And so we have to make sure that we let people know that going back, it is to the detriment of their progress. Remaining where they are, they will die. Better off when they are journeying and they are facing the future. And so just like the 4 lepers, daring to move into their known future because God is there. Now, preparing the wine skin through the process of mental innovation is important in the process of change management. Jesus said that you cannot put new wine in old wine skins. New wine is the new values, the new mentalities, the new philosophy, the things that are being introduced in the change management. And this is the information that will help the people to interact with the future where they are going in the new normal. Even this time of the COVID-19 corona, people need to understand that there are certain things that people must change, the way we do things, because there is a new wine coming. There are new things, we are faced with the new realities that we were not used before. And so this new wine, this new information, this new revelation will demand new wines, represent the vessel, the bodies, the mentalities, our positions, philosophical positions, and the attitudes that we are. We have to adjust them, we have to change them, we have to renovate our mentalities, because we are the carrier of that wine, and we are the wine skin. The mentalities that we have must be renovated for us to adopt the new normal. So preparing the new wine through the process of mental innovation. Even as I speak to you, I hope I'm renovating someone's mentality, even through this session of leadership. Changing the way we think. The Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing or the renovation of your mind, so that you can understand the good and the perfect will of God. So the right message in the wrong vessel will abort the change process. If we have the right message, but in the old vessel, in the old wineskin, it will abort the process of change. So we should not just concentrate on the new wine, but you should also concentrate on the development and the preparation of the vessel that carries the new wine. The nature of the vessel must also synchronize with the nature of the message. So the nature of the vessel must also be synchronized with the message, with the wine. Matthew chapter 9 verse 17, neither do men put new wine into old wineskin, else the skin burst, that is abortion of the change process, and the wine is spilled, that is abortion of the process of transition or change, and the skins perish. But they put new wine into fresh wineskin, and both are preserved. We know the process of fermentation. When wine is fermenting, or alcohol is fermenting, it produces some gases and which expand the wine skin. And if the wine skin was not prepared for the new wine, what will happen? It will burst. After the emptying of the wine, what happens is that the same wine skin is taken through a process of preparation and softening, so that now the new wine can also be poured. The same wine skin is prepared for the second process of fermentation. And so it is important to understand that God is about to bring great change in our lives, and we need to adopt this process of change and renovate our mentalities. So God bless you so much. I'll continue next time with this issue of leadership and change management, and I hope you are benefiting. God bless you so much.